But as soon as he stepped out onto the loggia and he was in full papal garb, which to me sent a message that, hey, I'm not Francis Part Two. I admire Francis. I think he thinks, and but he's not just going to be a rinse, cycle, and repeat of the Francis papacy. And I think that was a deliberate choice on his part to sort of send that message.
I was saying that I think that we'd sort of talked ourselves into a position where we all had this list of cardinals that we wanted to step out onto the loggia. And when it wasn't one of those, we immediately, our initial reactions from a lot of Orthodox Catholics was, oh no, that sort of the liberal progressives have got Francis too. And it's been like a slow budding in spring that we've been waking up to the semiotics of Cardinal Prevost as given us as Pope Leo, and to recognize the messages that he's sending, which are messages of building a bridge, aren't they? Of, perhaps not breaking the continuity with Francis, but perhaps doing what he was trying to do properly. Is that, I don't know if that's...
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm just happy that there were so many people in the square after the white smoke that the data plan on my cell phone didn't work. Nobody's was working because there were just so many people trying to access, cellular data that it was just didn't work. And I'm glad, because I was about ready to send text message to a lot of friends saying, oh no, geez. But I'm glad I didn't, because I'm actually very hopeful, very impressed with Cardinal Prevost, Pope Leo XIV. Very impressed so far. Now, it's early in his papacy, and the rubber is going to meet the road when we see his first personnel appointments. When, for example, does he fire Cardinal Fernandez from the DDF and replace him with somebody of more theological substance? Let's put it that way. Who's he going to get to replace Cupich in Chicago? That's going to be very interesting, of course, because Pope Leo is from Chicago, so he's got a real interest. I'm sure he's going to take a big personal interest in who goes into Chicago, because Cardinal Cupich has submitted his resignation. He's 75, and so we'll see. I think that's going to be a very telling appointment, who he puts in.
Two priests as well from Chicago this year, as I understand it, for ordination. One of them is from St. John Cantius, which obviously is most of the vocations, I think, in the Archdiocese. Cupich has got to be held accountable for this, hasn't he? That's ridiculous, isn't it?